Hello and welcome to the Audit Room. This is part 1 of the series on developing the audit universe. In this part, we will learn how to identify auditable units and processes within an organization. Let's start by understanding what an audit universe is. An audit universe is a comprehensive list of all the business units, processes, systems, and activities that an organization performs. The universe helps auditors identify potential risks and prioritize areas for audit. There is no standard approach or format to developing an audit universe. The format and structure of the audit universe will depend on the organization's size, industry, as well as the maturity level. However, as a best practice, the audit universe should cover an optimal number of auditable units within an organization. On the other hand, the audit universe should be documented and organized in a manner that makes it easy to review and update as needed. Some organizations use a spreadsheet or database to track the audit universe, while others may use specialized software. For this tutorial, we will use a spreadsheet to document the audit universe. So here are the steps with some practical examples on how to identify auditable units and processes in developing an audit universe. The first step in developing the audit universe is to gain an understanding of the organization's structure, mission, vision, and objectives. This will provide a foundation for identifying the various business units, processes, and activities that need to be included in the audit universe. Next step is to identify all the business units and functions within the organization. Here is an example of how you can identify the business units and functions. Start by obtaining and reviewing the organizational chart. From the organization chart, identify and list down all departments, divisions, functions, and sections in the spreadsheet. You must ensure to capture all business units and functions, making sure nothing is left out. Document the objectives of each business unit and function as you build the list. It is good practice to validate your list of business units and functions, as well as the objectives, by interviewing key personnel and reviewing other relevant documentation. This helps to ensure that all areas of the organization are covered in the audit universe. To make the list more comprehensive, you can also write down the name and position of the key person responsible for each business unit and function in the list. This will help you and your audit team in easily identifying the auditee at the time of individual audits. Once the business units and functions have been identified, the next step is to identify the processes and activities within each business unit and function. This involves understanding the objectives of each business unit and function and how each process and activity contributes to the organization's overall objectives and goals. Processes and activities can be identified by reviewing process maps, procedures of each business unit or function, as well as interviewing key personnel. Here are a few examples of processes and activities in the finance and accounting department and the human resource department in an organization. Of course, this is not an exhaustive list. Once you have identified the processes and activities, continue to build the audit universe by documenting these processes and activities against each business unit or function as shown here. It is also good to put a reference to each process for identification. This will be useful in the next step. The next step is to identify the interrelationships between business units and processes. This will help to identify any dependencies or potential risks that may impact multiple areas. Document the interrelationships in the spreadsheet as shown here. You can add your notes against each relationship for ease of future reference. Now that you have identified the auditable units, processes, and functions in the organization, the next step involves carrying out a risk assessment to identify potential risks and prioritize areas for audit. This part is covered in the next video. To summarize this part, the first step in developing an audit universe involves defining the scope and objectives of the audit universe, identifying the business units and functions, identifying the processes and activities, and establishing interrelationships between these processes. Thank you for watching this video. This is the end of part 1 of how to develop the audit universe. Stay tuned for the next part on how to carry out risk assessments. If you have any comments or questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more informative videos like this.